if there's one thing Dave Filoni's Star Wars The Clone Wars did well, the TV show, not the movie, was flesh out the backstories of some of the side characters, especially the Jedi. That's one of its greatest strengths, in my opinion. We see characters like Plo Koon and Luminara and Asajj Ventress and Kit Fisto, who are more or less caricatures in the prequel movies. You see them for a few seconds here, you know, oh, they're helping Obi-Wan here, oh, they're fighting alongside Anakin there, but you really only see them for maybe a minute in total in a 3-hour movie. So in the actual movies, in the original prequel trilogy, they were inconsequential characters. But in the Clone Wars cartoon, Dave Filoni took his time and fleshed out many of their backstories, expanded on their characters, their fighting styles, and that added to just how interesting they were as characters. Now, watching Revenge of the Sith, specifically with leading up to the Obi-Wan premiere, it really added to just how tragic the Order 66 scenes were, where you see the clones turning on the Jedi, because the first time you watch this, yes, it's absolutely heartbreaking, but you don't know much about these characters, so it's hard to relate to them and it's hard to connect to them. But now, having watched all of the Filoni Clone Wars, it's just absolutely heartbreaking, because suddenly these are fleshed out, well-rounded characters, and you're seeing them being cut down, and it just adds to the scene. Like, it's already a heartbreaking scene, like I said. It's very difficult to watch, even as an adult. But knowing so much more about these characters just makes it all the more of a gut punch. Anyway, bit of a tangent there, but the reason I bring that up is that I did a little more research after my Battlefront II video, and it turns out that there was indeed some DLC content made for Star Wars Battlefront 2. To my knowledge, it was only for Xbox, just because the Xbox Live Arcade was a very new thing and they were trying to promote it. But anyway, this video, I'm just going to play specifically the new heroes and new villains. As far as I could tell, there is Kit Fisto as a hero and Asajj Ventress as a villain, and that's it. There could be more, there could be less. There were some extra levels, but they were all levels that were taken from Star Wars Battlefront 1, so they're not necessarily new content. Anyway, let's get started. And just so you guys know, this is my first time playing as these characters, so my reactions are going to be 100% authentic. Let's go. Okay, and here we go. Let's play some Assault on Bespin using our new characters. Really interesting to me that they would have DLC this early. This game was 2006, if I remember right? 2005 or 2006, somewhere in that ballpark. So really cool that they would have DLC for it at that point. Alright, and here's Kit Fisto. We got Force Orb and Saber Throw. Let's see if he even has any dialogue. I don't even think he actually speaks in the prequel trilogy. There's Vader right away. Whoa, that's one heck of a range. Like, dang. You really close the gap quickly if need be. Oh, hey, Kit. Oh, that's kind of cool. You have like a little fireball attack. Guess that's what they mean by. Guess that's what they mean by the Force Orb. I guess you see that in the Clone Wars. You see that during when he's helping out with the battle on Mon Calamari. You see him do that at one point. Actually, I think you see him do that in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars too, but I could be wrong. But wow, that is a cool attack. Like, that is just really cool. Oh, that's sweet. Dang.
Moisture evaporator.
Moisture evaporator, very nice. Way to go, Luke. Wow, somebody is shooting at me. Hello. I drained half of Grievous's health, too. I can't get over the sheer range you have with that attack. That is insane. Just how quickly you can close gaps with that. Like, watch me get a jump behind the Emperor. I feel like somebody with a little practice could be really, really dangerous with Kit Fisto. Just how the sheer range that force dash move gives him is ridiculous. There's Ventress, and just like that, I am done. I like the unstable lightsaber crystal too, where his lightsaber's a little kind of fuzzy instead of solid. To my knowledge, that's not something you saw in the movies at any point. I don't think, at least. But something you saw a lot in, like, the video games in particular. This ground pound move is insane. Like, I thought Mace Windu's was awesome, but that's just flipping intense. Ooh, took out the Emperor. Yeah, that's how the series should have ended. You know, all hope was lost, and then Kid Fisto came out of nowhere and took out the Emperor with one of those. Wouldn't have the rest of the saga, though, so is it worth it? So a little hard to control the ground pound move just for how ridiculous it is, the amount of time it takes. Same thing to a great extent with the forced dash attack, just for the amount of, just for how far you move. See if I can get, oh, that's gotta hurt. Yeah, take that, you filthy night sister. Oh dang, that's cool. His sprint is, wow. The sheer mobility Kid Fisto has makes him just a really good counter, actually, to the two bounty hunter villains. Just for how unpredictable he is. I feel like somebody who took their time and practice could be a serious powerhouse as Kid Fisto. Oh. So does Ventress have projectiles? Is that what I'm seeing? Because that's really cool, too. Let's play a little bit longer as Kit, then I'll switch sides. I'll reset the level and switch sides so I can play as Ventress. Man, I still can't get over that, having DLC this early. That must have been a big deal. Or maybe not, for how relatively obscure this is. Like, I had heard rumors of this for a long time, but it didn't really come to my attention until very recently. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Ooh, sorry, Mace. Can't be as bad as what Palpatine did to you, though. What Sheev did to you. Like, definitely a well-designed character. Like, the mobility factor is off the charts. I feel like up to this point, there really weren't any hero characters with the kind of mobility that the jetpacks gave Boba Fett and Jango Fett. I gotta say, having this level that's a bit more confined than the large and open Tatooine definitely keeps the action up, because having the assault level being on Tatooine, on specifically Mos Eisley, there's just so much maneuverability there. Just too much open space, so a lot of the level was just you spending time trying to track down the other characters. We got our classic lightsaber throw, which OP as ever. Man, I can't get over that Force Orb. That is some powerful stuff right there. Actually, if I recall, Kit Fisto is one of the guys that Palpatine kills when Mace confronts him. I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Yeah, that's pretty on brand, you know, Boba Fett versus a Jedi. I'm pretty sure the Jedi is going to win. I just can't get over that. That's so ridiculous. Kind of a shame that he doesn't have any lines, but I don't think he had any actual spoken dialogue in the movies. They didn't have anything to really take from at this point. Ventress would have at this point, though, because she was in the Tarkovsky Clone Wars. Again, like, with a little practice, this could be a serious powerhouse. Kind of a shame that there isn't any more online connectivity for this game, because there's definitely enough people around that would want to try it. I feel like it would definitely take a lot of practice to be really effective with Kit Fisto, though, just for the amount of mobility it gives you is almost too much, where he feels unruly. With some practice, definitely a powerful character. The area of effect damage on that Force Orb is really powerful, though. Definitely feels like a DLC character, just for how powerful, but how unruly he is. It's almost like something they didn't have time to implement in the main game, so they decided to put him into this. Alright, one more life, then I'll switch over and play as Asajj Ventress. I'm pretty sure she's the only villain character. And man, what a great thing that a classic like this still has some new stuff to be discovered. Like, to me, that's the mark of a true masterpiece. That even now, close to 20 years after the game came out, there's still new stuff to discover. I just can't get over how cool that is. That is just such an awesome move. Sorry, little Annie. Surrender or die. Let's say that force orb power is almost... So you don't actually charge it. When you press the button, it charges to full and then it throws. That's good to know. But like right there, I was able to close that gap between me and Boba. Alright, as promised, I will restart the mission. Now I'll play as the villain so I can give you guys a taste of what it's like to be Asajj Ventress. And again, these are my authentic reactions. This is the first time I'm playing as these characters. Villains. Asajj Ventress looks different. Alright, so she is the only new villain character. Asajj Ventress is Link Sabers, Starblades. Maybe that's the projectile I was seeing earlier. I guess she really didn't have an established look just yet. Ooh, she's got the saber whips. That's cool. She didn't really have like an established look yet. You only see her very briefly in... Filthy Smuggler. You only see her very briefly in the Tartakovsky cartoon, and actually Anakin takes her down. Really powerful moment, actually. Just shows how much darkness he has. So yeah, it's almost like ninja stars I'm throwing. It's kind of cool. Oh, sorry, Vader. Who's next? Who's my next victim? Again, Captain Solo. So let's see. That's cool. Like, I can't get over how cool the lightsaber whips are. I wish that was something that would eventually find its way into the new movies. Like the way they're kind of connected, so they're like giant nunchucks. That's really cool. Who do we got next? Ah, Jedi Master Yoda. You survive. Wow, just jumped right over him. He's got the odd job thing going on. Again! Literally keep jumping over the little turd. Literally, that's like odd job in GoldenEye, where he's so short you gotta take the time to physically aim at him. And if I'm thinking about the chronology right, I believe there was the first season would have been coming out right around the same time. Maybe, not quite. I don't remember Asajj Ventress being named in the... Ooh, I'm going after you now, Solo. Call me Boba Fett. I don't remember her ever being named in the Tartakovsky cartoon, so I'm not sure where the name came from. Like, she was literally just a nameless Sith assassin in that. You know, until Anakin took her down. Gosh, if ever you have the chance, it's on Disney Plus now, and I believe the entire show is on YouTube too. The Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon is really, really good. Some of the very best Star Wars content ever made, in my opinion. It's from the guy that made Samurai Jack, so you know what to expect, but with a Star Wars coat of paint, so well worth the watch. So the dash attack, you have to have a certain level of accuracy, otherwise you're gonna miss the opponent, which I kind of like, I kind of don't. On the one hand, you can't just go out and just start swinging wildly like some of the other characters. Like Obi-Wan, within reason, if you did the dash attack, you stood a fair chance of actually hitting your target at once for how much he's filling it around. But, sorry, Maul. Ooh, I got both of ya. Wow, that was something else. I guess I'm floating in death. Guess I became a Force Ghost despite all the bad stuff I did. Which, to be fair, she does redeem herself to a certain extent. Really good book, actually, about what happens to her after, it's either a book or a graphic novel, one of those two, where they flesh out what happens after the Clone Wars to her. Oops, sorry, Boba. We all know what happens to Aayla Secura and Mace Windu. I don't remember ever seeing the Starblade anywhere, though. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me, but the Starblades feel like it was created for this game. It's a really cool area of effect attack, though. It's almost like a fléché that bounces around. Look, 2 Yodas, wow. Imagine if there were 2 Yodas taking on Palpatine. I don't think he would have won. That would have been a heck of a battle, too, just the way how agile Yoda is in combat. Come over here, Kit Fisto. Ooh. I really feel like, especially against normal human enemies, that would be a very devastating attack. Especially on a level like this with some narrow passages. Let me try once, I'm kind of curious if I can get inside. If I were to line this up right, yeah, they would fly around in here. That would shred like clone troopers or something. The one thing I don't like about Ventress, honestly, is her design. It just doesn't really look much like her. Like, just thinking about both the Clone Wars and the Tartakovsky version, this doesn't resemble either of them except for the face. Even the face is a little off. Not a bad thing per se. Like, at the time, she really hadn't been developed at all, but we at least knew what she looked like. Ooh, gotcha, Sakura. And just like Kit Fisto, she doesn't have any dialogue, which, not gonna lie, the voice acting in this game, for the most part, isn't the greatest, especially for the hero characters, so how good would it have actually been, to be fair? But at the time, I don't think she had any major dialogue. Yeah, she had a little bit in the Tartakovsky cartoon, but for the most part, it was just... like, I'm gonna destroy you now, and just really cheesy stuff like that. The Tartakovsky cartoon was relatively light on dialogue, which honestly worked in its favor, in my opinion. It went for just a straight war story, and it achieved what it was going for sure. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the finale to Kenobi, I highly recommend watching it. It is one of the most powerful episodes of anything Star Wars. One of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the very best Star Wars stories ever told. I've never seen a Star Wars story do such a good job of tackling things like PTSD and the long-term ramifications of war and the dynamic that Vader and Obi-Wan developed. There's just so much cool going on in that show. Even if you're not a big Star Wars fan, it's such a cool, compelling story that it's worth checking out. Anyway, that's really all I have to say. Like, these are both really interesting characters. Kit Fisto in particular, with some practice, could be a really powerful, really devastating character on the battlefield. Asajj Ventress is a little unruly, as is Kit Fisto, but her attacks require a level of accuracy, especially her sprint and ground pound attacks require a level of accuracy that may or may not be feasible even with practice in a game as fast-paced and chaotic as this. I guess it just goes to show you, like, as simple as the hero and villain structure is, there was still room for them to create some dynamic and interesting characters, and that's, once again, just a testament to how well this game has aged, just going back to my previous video on it. And with that, I think I will call it quits. Something really interesting about those characters is just how unique they are. I don't know if they were meant to be in the base game, but they just ran out of time, or if they actually took the time to construct unique characters from scratch to begin with, but both of those characters feel very distinct. And that, to me, is the mark of a truly great DLC character. Just thinking about, like, say, for example, Super Smash Bros., we had fantastic DLC characters like Banjo and Kazooie, and what made them fantastic was how unique they were. Of course, there was the fan service factor, but that's beside the point. But then we also had characters like Byleth, who, nothing against her, nothing against the Fire Emblem games, but she felt like just another Fire Emblem character, and in my opinion, just wasn't as memorable. So the fact that they were able to make such unique and such interesting DLC characters for this game, even back then, is a testament to just how much of a masterclass this game was and continues to be. Like, there's a reason why it's so fondly remembered, and I feel like, especially now having observed these characters, I feel like a part of it is, like I said last time, there was the fan service, there was the attention to detail, but something else I'm going to add is just how well crafted of a game it is. It's a solid gameplay experience that holds up today on a gameplay level. It's not just fan service, it's not just Battlefield 1942 or the Star Wars Code of Paint. It's its own unique game, and this is just one more testament to that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if anybody knows how to actually download this stuff for other players that are interested, please let me know. Please put it in the comments so other people can track these characters down and try them out. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun to make. Really interesting topic this time. Be sure to show your support for my channel. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'm trying to actually build the channel this time. Last time I tried, I was starting a new job, and I just didn't have the time or the motivation, so it kind of fell by the wayside. This time I'm actually making a conscious effort, knock on wood, to build it up. So please feel free to show your friends, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy.